Enhancement Talent of the Week. Whoa, with Donnie and Jay. The jobbers might not have the greatest physiques. Whoa, Enhancement Talent of the Week.
The Enhancement Talent of the Week is brought to you by Star Will Books, your map to amazing stories. Star Will Books is the publisher of the best-selling science fiction series, The Adventures of Duke LaGrange. Visit them today at starwillbooks.com. So, Donnie, the Enhancement Talent this week, I think it's fitting on a Coliseum Home video because this guy just screams that same aura of a Coliseum Home video release. He's important to the history of wrestling, but might be a little rough around the edges in some cases. And I had to go back and forth with myself on whether I included him in the Enhancement Talent because he had 62 wins in the WWF, well, the WWF and the WWF. So 62 wins is a lot. I don't know if that classifies him as an enhancement talent. He did have 449 losses. So to me, I think that offsets it. So I'm going to include him if it's okay with you.
Sure, I think that works.
This Enhancement Talent of the Week had some pretty memorable moments in his illustrious career. He wrestled Ric Flair in Madison Square Garden. Actually, I believe it was Flair's first bout at Madison Square Garden. So pretty impressive stuff there. And then he wrestled basically a who's who. Hulk Hogan, Sergeant Slaughter, the Wild Samoans, Tito Santana, Harley Race, Ernie Ladd, Stan Stasiak, Peter Maivia, you name it, and even picked up a few, I would say, monumental wins. He beat a young Bad News Brown back when he was going by his given name, Alan Coach Jr. He has a win over Conquistador Dos, Jose Estrada Sr. He even beat Tony Altamore, former WWF U.S. Tag Team Champion, with the great Captain Lou. We'll have a lot on Captain Lou today, so just buckle in. Even has wins over Moose Monroe. You might know him from his big All Japan run. So he has some big wins, and he even drew with a former King of the Ring participant, a WWF commentator, and defeater of Haku, the Duke of Dorchester, Mr. Pete Doherty. All that being said, any guesses? I feel you know this one, Donnie.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say Frank Williams.
Correct. The pride of Columbus, Ohio, Mr. Frankie Williams. You might know him as you might know him as Roddy Piper's whipping boy in that infamous Piper's Pit sketch. I think, honestly, people talk about the coconut to Snuka's head. I actually think, and I'm being serious here, I actually think the Frank Williams segment might have been the best stuff done in Piper's Pit, at least in the top three.
Yeah, it was realistic at the time to watch that and go, whoa, this is a fight for real. And I think he must be a testament to the fact that you could be an enhancement talent in one territory, but still have classic matches around other territories back then.
Absolutely. And in fact, before a lot of his known matches in the WWF, he was working at an independent Lucha Libre show in the tri-state area, which had a working relationship with Vince Sr. It was called Ringside 41. He came out as El Vaquero, Frankie Williams, or the Cowboy. Rumors, there's no video footage of this, but rumors that he even actually came out on a donkey.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? And then if you dive deeper and peel back the onion with Frankie Williams, there's some really cool stuff. In fact, some of this could be legend. It could be half-truths. But Larry Sharp, the famous wrestling trainer, he said that Frank Williams was pretty close to Gorilla Monsoon back in the day and was the one that built the original tag team and intercontinental belts.
Wow.
Yeah, so who knows? Like I said, I'm not gonna claim that as 100% fact, but just who knew Frankie Williams, a Renaissance man of the wrestling ring. He was a big jokester backstage. He did leave us too soon, losing a battle to lung cancer. But Frank Williams, very honored that he can be the Enhancement Talent of the Week here on the Wrestling Life Support Podcast. So I will give you some classic Frank Williams moments. Links in the show notes. Watch them. Just be prepared to be amazed because Frankie Williams is a pillar of the wrestling world. So if you like the Enhancement Talent of the Week, you like the Wrestling Life Support Podcast, hell, you'll just like Donnie and I, how can you find us on social media, Donnie?
You can follow us at WLS Podcast or search Wrestling Life Support.